Computer, we're recording. Hi, this is Catherine Morgan from Point A to Point B Transitions. I'm also the editor of Carol Roth's blog, Business Unplugged, which is why I am talking to the fabulous Carol Roth today.
Hello, Catherine. How are you?
Hi, Carol. So I thought we would dive in and talk about when is the right time to start a business, if there is one, and when is exactly the wrong time to start a business, because I think there are some timing issues involved in this.
Yeah, so I'm glad you asked the question, Catherine. When I look at the framework for a business to be successful, I always say that you have to be the right person starting the right business at the right time. And so there's a lot of elements there that play in timing wise. From a business standpoint, you have to start a business when the market is ready for that business. And I use the example in my book, The Entrepreneur Equation, of Webvan, which at the time that it came out, it went from sort of zero to $1 billion, went public in market cap, back to zero in like a flash like that. And that was, for those of you who aren't familiar, that was a grocery delivery service. Right. And it was too early in the infrastructure of the internet. We didn't have the same types of smartphones. We didn't have sort of the same sort of acceptance of stuff on demand that we do today. So they were going to fail with that business no matter how well they executed it, because it just wasn't the right time. The market wasn't ready for it yet. So there's that piece of timing. And then there's the personal piece of timing. Right. Starting a business is a very difficult thing to do. If you want it to be successful, a lot of times it requires your capital. It certainly requires all of your attention. It requires a lot of hard work. It requires you prioritizing the business over other things that you are doing in your life. Right. And so if you have things that are happening in your life that make that an impossibility. It could be that you just had a baby or just got married, or that you're still in school, or you've got a ton of debt and other bills to pay, and you're not in a position to be able to give 100% attention to the business, or be making decisions like, do I keep the business open or pay my rent this month? Then that's not going to be a really good time for you to start a business either. And I think it's really important that you have all of those things going on. And then it's also not the right time if you have like no reason why you're the person to start the business.
Oh my God, can I jump in on that
yes,
one?
Yes, please.
Why you, why this, why now? If you haven't answered those 3 why questions, you have some more thinking to do. I have a friend who I love with all my heart, and thinks she's so passionate about starting this business. But when I probed into it, I'm like, well, why? Is anybody asking for this business? Well, I had this interest in da-da-da. I was like, the vaguest, just lightest thing. And I'm like, well, why you? Well, I have 1 million frequent flyer miles and da-da-da. Just like, okay, not compelling.
No.
And, why you? Why this? Why now? You really have to nail that, because there's a lot of people out there trying to do a lot of stuff.
Yes, and I can guarantee you your really super secret squirrel idea that nobody else knows. There are like 90 million other people out there trying to come up and execute the same business plan. It's the weirdest thing. It's just a zeitgeist thing that by the time you've thought of it, a bunch of other people have thought of it too. If you're not bringing anything to the table in terms of your network or your experience or some reason why you are that right person to solve that problem, it's just not going to work. So it has to be the right time in the market for the business. It has to be the right time for you personally. And then you just have to be that right person in general in the middle of all of that in order for you to be successful. Every once in a while, somebody lucks into something. But if you want to, from a risk-reward standpoint, get the best risk-adjusted return out of starting a business, follow our advice here.
Okay, now you're talking about starting a bigger business, though. If you're talking about maybe doing a little freelancing work, a couple websites for friends or something, then that could be a little,
That's a hobby. That's a hobby, Catherine. That's not a business.
Worth clarifying, because you have a very specific point of view on that. You're talking about, you know, a business that's bigger than you, that's going to have employees, that's potentially saleable.
Or really anything that you're going to put your money and your time and your effort into and you think is going to sustain you. Even if it's just, you know, more of a side one person job business, if you think that this is going to sustain you, it's still a better chance of success if you've answered those questions that we brought up.
Perfect. I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Carol.
Thanks.